I'm Melinda, and I am a survivor of domestic violence. I want to bring awareness, hopefully inspiration, as well as just share different bits of my life. Not in this video, of course, not that takes too much time. So upcoming videos. I did have one that I tried to post earlier this week, and I just didn't do it right. I don't know what the heck I did. I'm new to this. So I just had a few minutes. I wanted to go ahead and just share my blog. It's www.hopewhentherewasnone.blogspot.com. Now, with my blog, I've shared since 2009, just from me leaving. So there's some ranting on there, some stomping and crying, and yeah, some very emotional stuff out there. Some that's just a little bit crazy, but that's how I was feeling at the time. I was feeling like I was riding a roller coaster. I was emotionally broken. I reached the point, my rock bottom. I just couldn't do it anymore. I had to leave. I knew I wasn't going to survive that year. My story is just one in a sea of thousands, I'm sure millions of others out there that are struggling to find their voice, struggling to find their happily ever after. I'd like to think I have it now. There can be a happily ever after for you. It's going to be hard to get there, though. You're going to have to fight for it. And sometimes it can be very scary. You'll have to have the police, protective orders. I always say leave a paper trail. So I usually say on my blog, please leave a paper trail. Keep your friends informed, your goings, where you're going, how long you're going to be. Keep a phone on you. Make sure that your ex, man, woman, whatever, doesn't have access to your GPS. This, again, I'm just ranting right here, but I want to let you know that you're not alone. I've been there. I've been through the rigors and the sad times, the times where I felt very suicidal. I knew I was going to take my life. I just wasn't sure when or how. I even considered taking the lives of my children at one point in time. A really dark, dark time. I had to wait on the Lord. I did. I am a believer, and He's guided me. He's guided my heart, even when I was very, very distraught, curled up in a ball, waiting for the next blow to come. I was actually able just to inwardly call on the Lord. There's times that I almost felt like I was a different person, just looking at this broken lady on the floor, bleeding or just crying, and seeing this man stand over her. It just didn't seem like me. It was almost like an out-of-body experience. It was very, very bizarre looking back at it now. My life seems very surreal right now. I got to tell you, this is all weird to me. It's 7 years. I was in that relationship for 20 plus years. Also had some childhood abuse too. So not for my stepdad. Chad is awesome. But my other stepdad that I had. So I was scarred going into the relationship, and I just was broken. I was broken. I just want you to know you're not alone. Please, 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 you're not alone. If you can tell somebody, please tell somebody about what's going on in your life. Police, your best friend, family member, someone that you can trust. Let them know about what's happening if you can confide in them. Or there is the National Domestic Violence Hotline where you can get help too, and you do that anonymously. You can reach out again to maybe a counselor, pastor, just someone that you trust. It's hard. It's hard to open up to somebody because there's some shame in there. You're thinking that you're at fault. You're nothing. You're terrible. You've been a bad person. Whatever that person that's been abusing you has been telling you, you believe it. You believe it to your very bone that you are an awful person. You hear it long enough, you start to believe it. But you're not. You're a beautiful person. Whatever stage of this ride that you're on, you can get through it. You have to be safe. You have to be wise and smart about it. And I'll be sharing some tips and insight from my own personal life over the next couple months, years, whatever. But I did want to just come on out and bravely speak out that you're not alone. I wanted to break the silence. I wanted to, I guess, call my abuser out. He did finally admit that he was abusive, that he apologized for it. He's like, Mel, everything in your blog, you're right, I did it, and I'm sorry. Of course, he's changed his tune from what I hear since then, but that's okay. You know, it is what it is. I'm just glad that I'm not in that downward spiral that I was in. I was in a bad place. I'm trying not to cry. You can get through this, but it takes a lot of safety mind. You might have to call the police. You might have to just maybe take some self-defense. You have to trust somebody. You have to let them know. I'm there with you. I've been through it. You're not alone. If you need to email me, please do so. blessmeplease@gmail.com. If you need more tips or suggestions, go to my blog. And also there's a variety of information on women's shelters. There is some information for men too, because I do hear quite a bit from men. But stay safe. I'm pulling for you. Have a great night. I'll be coming to you with more. Bye.